This is Elliot Forbes, and today I'm going to teach you how to style a short textured men's haircut. Shower now, and as you can see, my hair is really quite thick. If I was just to let it naturally dry, it tends to just sit into a bit of a bush. It gets quite fluffy. You get a lot of different hairs sitting in different directions, and it doesn't necessarily sit textured. It's sort of, you get individual flyaway hairs going everywhere. Even though it's thick, the hairs don't necessarily tend to stick together too much. And so when I sleep, my hair very much reacts negatively against it, so I always look like I have bedhead, so I have to wash my hair every day, otherwise it would just look ridiculous. So the key for me to be able to get good texture and a nice style with my hair is to layer the products up. Now, as I mentioned, I'm not long out of the shower, so my hair is still a little bit on the damp side, so which is key. You want to keep it still so it is on the damp side. But step one, what I'm going to do is add some of today I'm going to use some of the Johnny's Chop Shop, and this is the texturizing sea salt spray. And what this is going to do, this is going to be the base and the foundation for the styling, just so that then it gives it a little bit of body, something to work on and layer on top of it, of the products on top of each other with it all. So what I'm going to do is just going to be 3 or 4 little sprays. Actually 6 in through there, and then just really, because the hair is still damp, really working this through, because we want to make sure that it has an even distribution with it. So actually it makes sure that it's not just sort of sat in one area and then gets sticky, so you want to work it the whole way through it. So what I'm going to be doing is using the dryer. I'm going to be using it with the nozzle on, just so that we can then direct this into the right sort of areas. For someone to get texture in their hair, what they need to do is and a little bit of volume, you need to buckle the root slightly. So what I'm going to be doing when drying the hair is working my fingers deep into the root, so that it gives it that sort of separation, gives it a bit of definition in through there, and gets the hair to sit in different directions. The whole time whilst the hairdryer is pushing everything forward. So my fingers are pushing this way, but the hairdryer is working forward. Now, obviously, as you can see, we've got quite a nice bit of texture in through there, quite a little bit of volume, so actually it can sit in quite a few different directions. It's got a nice style to it, but actually because my hair is so dense and so thick, it looks very dry. And because obviously I wash my hair every day, I don't get any natural oils in there too much. So really what I would then do is then use a clay. And the clay that I'm going to use today, actually, it's a Layrite Cement clay. This is really quite good product. It's a water soluble product, and it's got a really nice hold. All the products I tend to lean towards are water soluble, just because it means you can wash the product out so much easier. That's a massive problem that guys have when they'll sort of plow lots of product in, putting it in, then you end up with so much build up that actually it's so hard to wash it out that you end up having to use such a heavy duty shampoo to be able to get it out, or even very washing up liquid. So for me, water soluble products are key. And obviously then, because of the dryness that it is at the moment, this has got more of a natural shine to it, is what I would say actually. And the amount that I'm going to use today is around about that much. So you can see, nice decent amount. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to work this onto the hands, really get this all warmed up, work it nice and evenly, really focusing onto the whole way across the hand, really working it in through there. A problem that a lot of guys have is that they will then put the product in and then boof, straight in at the front. And when someone's looking at it, it's like, okay, cool. But actually they don't get to see it from the side or from the back or anything like that. And anyone looking at it can see that the product is not evenly distributed and it's just sat at the front. So actually what you want to make sure is to be starting, obviously, on a textured haircut, wearing it, just pushing it in through all the different directions and starting it so it goes everywhere, really working it in. You can see the way that I'm actually putting this in. I'm really working it in with the palm of the hand and getting this all the way into the root, and then obviously with the fingertips in there, getting it the whole way down, trying to coat almost all of the hair that's then key for getting texture on shorter haircuts as well. So working that the whole way in, and then really what we wanted to be doing is trying to mold it then into the shape that you want it to sit in. So if I was just to mold it in, I can see that actually in through here, this all spikes out. No, I don't really like that. For me, when I look to the side, I always want to see a shape that's like this. So you have a nice corner in through there. So actually, I like having this all broken up through the edges at the back, but I want that to sit a little bit flatter. We can then have this a little bit more textured, so we can see a little bit more of a corner in through here. Gives it more of a masculine shape. Still get all the texture in through there. And then we just want to just refine it, put it into the shape that it wants to. And as you can see, there's not a massive difference between the shape of when it was before it was in, but actually now it gives it just a little bit more darkness, a little bit more shine, and going to give it a lot more longevity and punch during the day. Now the final step when I'm styling my hair is, and I think a very important part of it, is actually to then put the dust in at the end. Now for my hair, it's sometimes will tend to fall a little bit flatter, especially during the heat as well. So I always put a little bit of dust in. This dries it up just slightly, but gives it a bit of body at the root so that actually it can sit with a bit of volume in through there as well, maintain that structure. So it's all about building those products, layering them on one on top of each other to give the best chance of success. And the one I'm going to be using today, it's a Fudge anti-gravity powder spray. They're all, I quite like a lot of the dust, to be honest. There's a couple that are not great. I'm not a massive fan of the Schwarzkopf one, really only because it's the way that it comes out super heavy. Like the nozzle on the top just means that loads of it comes out all in one go. Whereas this one, it tends to sprinkle out quite nicely, because you don't want to put lots of it in there, because then you can't run your hands through it at all. And that's not what you want to do. You want to give it enough body, but you don't want it so that when you put your hands in it, it just sort of sticks, which is actually a problem that a lot of the dusts do have. So with this, all I'm going to do is just tip my head slightly and just ever so slightly sprinkle it on. So just on top there, you can see it's just then get it. And then to make sure that I get it in at the back, I'm just going to lower my head down and just sprinkle a little bit in there as well. Then all you want to be doing with this, you just want to then just gently work that in, and that's just then going to seep and sink in to the hair a little bit easier. Just dries it out. You can then pinch a little bit of those areas as well, and that then just gives it the real finished look that it's got a good chance of holding throughout the day then, really, yeah. Okay guys, I'm uploading videos frequently, all about men's hair, beards, grooming tips. So if you've liked this video today, if you found any value, punch that subscribe button and ring that bell for me, please. If there are any specific topics that you want me to cover or answer, any questions that you may have, feel free just to message me on any of the social media channels. They're all going to be linked below in the comments section as well. Have a brilliant day. Much love, Elliot.